Hello everyone, my name is Alyssa Wilson and today I present to you how to Dutch braid hair. Now I know a handful of women and men that struggle with heat damage and they struggle with using heat on their hair. I know people are so used to just using straighteners, curling irons, and blow dryers on their hair in their typical day-to-day lives. However, using all of these things usually results in heat damage after time. However, using Dutch braids and using this great effective heatless hairstyle will allow for healthy hair growth in just a few simple steps. Now that you know the purpose of my speech and why you should learn how to Dutch braid, just like any project, let's go ahead and gather the materials. For today's demonstration, I will be using this doll head. You could practice on your mother, your sister, your grandmother, your kids, anyone who has a head full of hair, basically, you can practice on. We'll have a spray bottle, just because we like to dampen the hair to make it easier to grip. I have a comb. You can use a wide tooth comb or a small comb, it does not matter, it's up to you. I have just a regular clip. You can use any clip just as long as it's pretty sturdy. I have two hair ties with me. These are what we will be using to tie off the ends of the hair. I have a scrunchie with me. This is pretty much optional. It's just another form of a clip. And then for another optional material is leave-in conditioner or any serum that you may have that you would like to add to the hair just for some extra strength and gloss. Now that you know the supplies needed to perform Dutch braids, we will first start by dampening the hair. I have this spray bottle that I will be using just to evenly spread the water. Okay, now that we have applied all of our water, now would be the time to go ahead and add in your serums or leave-in conditioners or any extra additional items that you may like to add in your hair. Anything that's a part of your daily routine, go ahead and add. Now I'll be taking my hairbrush and I will just be brushing out the hair. Now I just want to make sure that the hair is brushed out so that we don't run into any knots while braiding, just to ensure an easy process. Okay, now that the hair is completely brushed out and you can pretty much run your fingers through it without your fingers getting stuck, we're going to go ahead and part the hair into two. So we're going to go take our comb, any comb that you have, and what I typically like to do is to start from the bridge of the nose just because that's the center. And for these braids, typically we would use a middle part just because using a side part just doesn't really have equal distribution and it's a little bit harder to manage the size. Once you get a little bit more comfortable, it may be easier, but for now, just use the middle. Okay. I went ahead and switched angles just so that you can see a little bit better what it is exactly that I'm doing. So we went ahead and parted the hair in the middle, and we're just going to continue to part the hair all the way down to the neck. You just want to make it as straight as you can. Don't worry about perfection. It is just a part, but just make sure that it's about as evenly as you can possibly get it. And there is our two parts. Alright, now that we have done all the necessary prepping, we can now start to braid the hair. So just go ahead and make sure that you parted it from the nape of the nose all the way down to the neck, that you sectioned off the hair, we damped the hair, and you apply your conditioners if you would like to. So now we're going to go ahead and get started. For Dutch braids, essentially what you're doing is braiding under. Now if you don't know, French braids, you take hair over, but with Dutch braids, you braid it under. Now this kind of creates the illusion that the braid is somewhat sitting on top of the head. And we're just going to take a small section from the front of the hair. You can use a comb or you can use your fingers. I'll use a comb for this demonstration. Now that we have this, we're going to split this section into 3 pieces. Right? So we're going to go ahead and hold all 3 of them. And the right piece, the rightest piece, is going to go under the middle piece. So if you didn't catch that, here's the right piece. And it's going to go under the middle piece. Then we're going to pull out. Then we're going to take the left piece, put it under the middle piece, and pull out. Then we're going to do it again. Right piece, under the middle, and pull out. Now, when we pull the hair over, we're going to basically add hair every time we go. So, if you are braiding the right piece under into the middle, you're going to add a piece of hair from the right underneath into the same section, just like that. Now, we're going to take the left piece, put it under, and take a left section and put it in the hair as well. So I'll go ahead and just show you so you can get a better look. Right piece under the middle, just like that. Add a section of hair, just a small section of hair, don't want it too big. Put it under, There we go. Left section of hair right here, braid it under. Take a piece of the left side, put it under as well, and then go. Right piece of hair again, under, and then we're gonna add another piece. Now that we have all the hair in the braid, you can just braid like normal down to the hair. Okay, so go ahead and tie that up. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing right on the right side. All right, and this ends up being our end result. You have the Dutch braid on the right side and the Dutch braid on the left side. As you can see, this is what I was mentioning when talking about short hair, but that's just what happens when you have short hair Dutch braids. So this is the end result. You now have a protective hairstyle that will allow for hair growth and prevent hair breakage. This is all done in 6 easy steps. Let's go ahead and review those. So the 6 steps for completing Dutch braids are to 1, gather all of our required materials. 2 is to dampen the hair just a little bit and to relieve all of the knots. 3 is to section the hair into 2 equal sections, starting from the bridge of the nose all the way back to the nape of the neck. 4 is to section a small part of the top of the head and then split it into 3 equal sections. And then the 4th step, as I mentioned before, is to take the right section of hair and braid it underneath to the middle, left section of the hair, braid it underneath to the middle, and repeat this process every time while adding hair each time. And the last 6th and final step is to repeat all of these steps on the right side. Thank you so much for listening to my demonstration speech, and I hope that this demonstration of how to Dutch braid helps you utilize braiding in your everyday life and will help you think of ideas when you consider different protective hairstyles. Have fun with your new healthy hair.